ago, 12 the week before that. That's the one that I like. Cole going against the public. Dresser win under 170.5 passing yards. How about you? A Frank Darby anytime touchdown, and Harry Douglas once again just copying Aaron Dolan's work.
Minus the 4.5 for the Battlehawks. Frank the Tank kick. Expects to send it into the landing zone between the goal line and the 20. Underway in Memphis as Coughlin sends it to Jackson just inside the 10. Waiting for the convoy, and a stutter step ushered out near the 30-yard line. Battlehawks will take over there after a return of 22. Max Duggan, the runner-up to win the Heisman Trophy, nearly won a national championship, Roddy, at TCU, and put together that incredible run just 2 years ago. He's trying to get back in the NFL. He's got a chance to do some things.
For Max Duggan today, it's going to be about anticipation and on-time delivery in the passing game to try and keep in rhythm.
12 personnel here from Memphis. Roddy hadn't started out games like this very often.
Hand off to Sailors, and he will plunge ahead across the 35. Keaton Ellis tackles, 6-yard gain.
Z fly past 15 Willie X Rage. Flank right Sun Z fly past 15 Willie X Rage.
Roddy, I think that man right there, Phil Gahagan, the offensive play caller, he's expecting more out of Max Duggan today to see what his new starting quarterback can do. Of course, no Manny Wilkins. He was injured 3 weeks ago in Arlington. The time is now for Duggan to show what he can do. Backside pressure, he'll avoid it. Duggan will buy some time and a first down. Drive starts there for St. Louis.
The hard play action, you're going to get pressure over here from the left side. Max Duggan just does a really nice job of scooting up in the pocket to avoid that pressure, and as he climbs, he's able to find some space, gets away from a defensive lineman, Boogie Roberts, and is able to get a first down. It's what makes Max Duggan so dangerous, and as Cole mentioned, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends to start the game. I wonder if it's going to be running the ball that's going to be the game plan for St. Louis.
Sailor's going to get another touch, and he'll be driven backwards right at the line of scrimmage by Ellis again. So 2 stops for number 31 for the Showboats on this possession. That's a TFL and a loss of a yard.
It was really caused by the penetration by Steele Chambers, number 42, the second leading tackler in the UFL, was in the backfield, pushed Jacob Sailors out wide so that the safety, Keaton Ellis, could come down and make the tackle.
Set on.
Battlehawks coming off the tough win against Arlington, 12-6. Duggan going to air it out. Man-to-man coverage and incomplete. And some hand fighting deep down the field. Core Pearson, the intended receiver. Guerra in coverage.
It's a good blitz pickup by that St. Louis front. A slot fade one-on-one. But these are the situations that St. Louis wants to try and avoid. Those 3rd and long situations, found themselves in too many of those last week. Only 3 of 13 on 3rd down for St. Louis a week ago.
Well, the Battlehawks will bring the defense. Can the offense catch up in a game like today? On 3rd and long, here's Duggan. Pocket collapsing. Duggan's going to be driven down. Back inside the 40, Jalen Allen got there. And Allen out of Memphis, getting the job done for the Showboats, and a loss of 7.
Pressure's going to come right here. It's just one-on-one, and Max Duggan has to be able to climb in the pocket quicker. When he gets to the top of his drop, he's got space in front of him. If he climbs with some urgency right away, he'll probably have a chance to get out and create a little bit more, but he's not able to. And a 3-man rush ends up in a sack for Memphis.
Something to watch today. Duggan and the dropbacks and making sure that he's either getting the ball down the field, getting rid of the football on time. We're seeing those kinds of plays well behind the line of scrimmage. Hoprichter, a brilliant punt. It'll be down inside the 5 by Miles Jones, and poor starting field position for Memphis, and quarterback Dresser win.
Another guy making his 3rd start of the season. This is a Memphis team that has had E.J. Perry start 3 games, Troy Williams start a game, but the last 3, it's been Dresser win. He Again, in that short to intermediate game, he's been very accurate.
Let's go flood right slot. Z Casper, 35 Charles comment. You're at the comment. You're at the comment.
Showboats coming off a very tough loss at Houston last week, 21-20. It was a scoop and score. Came into the second half. That was part of the difference. Handoff and Eric Prince. Head to the 5, and that's it. Isaiah Mack met him right at the line of scrimmage. May have picked up a yard.
Let's go rifle.
For Memphis, the goal is to at least get 1 first down. It's the most important thing when you're backed up close to your own goal line. Will they have the confidence to throw the ball, though? St. Louis has 2 unbelievable pass rushers in Travis Beanie and Peter Talmopinu.
Handoff Prince again, right up the gut and across the 10. A quality pickup on 2nd and long. Mike Rose a tackle.
Let's go Rocky.
Ronnie, I don't know about you. Prince got to get that thing up in there. A little bit of too much shuffle east-west, side to side before he got to the line of scrimmage. That thing was blocked well.
For a guy that's 216 pounds and plays bigger than that, I agree, and he did on that one, Cole.
Prince, another touch, and a first down this time. So offensive play caller Noel Mazzoni. Cole, you know Noel pretty well from your days down at Auburn.
Took over my last 2 years there on the Plains and brought some new innovative ideas. We went from an isolation run scheme to a zone run scheme, and I can just tell you he's one of the more player-friendly coaches you'll ever be around.
Got to know him a little bit during his time at Texas A&M. Always an outstanding discussion. When a tough pass nearly picked off and there was double coverage. Nick Whiteside probably would tell you should have reeled that one in.
There's plenty of time for Dresser Wynn to diagnose this defense. It ends up being a corner sinking underneath that had a chance to intercept it.
I think Willie Harvey got a piece of that one, Roddy.
He might have, but that's 2 weeks in a row where St. Louis has had a dropped interception.
Third carry for Prince. And on 2nd and long, stopped at the line by Travis Beanie. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Hey, trio right.
Not where you want to live against this defense. So I talked to Coach Mazzoni, speaking of before the game, about that, and he said 3rd and long are going to be a problem. We have to avoid giving these pass rushers room to tee off.
One of the big playmakers like Isaiah Henney, Kai Loxley. It's something deeper down the field. Wynn's going to be dropped at the 10-yard line. Talmopinu, a loss of 4. Punt team on the field for the Showboats.
Peter Talmopinu coming off of the right side. I mean, it's just a simple, speed rush. He uses his hands to get around, rips underneath. Yeah. He has been unbelievable this season, certainly in the category or in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year in the UFL, leads the UFL in sacks and comes up big.
6.5 now on the season for Peter. Here's Ja'Cour Pearson. Battlehawks with outstanding field position after this punt return all the way back into plus territory. Punt of 57, a board with Dresser Wynn on the sideline. As St. Louis gets a football back in plus territory, Battlehawks trying to win their 5th game this season.
We just showed the Memphis Showboats mascot Skipper. Apparently it's his birthday today.
Happy
Did you know
birthday.
that?
I did not.
Happy birthday, Skipper. I wonder how old he is.
Javion Howard now running back. Alcorn State. Jarvion over the left side. All kinds of real estate. And a big gainer inside the 35. Get you down to Cole Kublik. Cole, who do we have?
Peter Tumina Maypal. I want to ask you about winning on that last rush because the tackle actually had a clean set. He went depth first, but then went vertical. When do you make that decision to come outside or give him the inside move? You can show me.
So at first I saw him sit vertically. So I take my first step, then I take an inside step just to make him see a little bit. Then I get my rush out.
So you stall him on that inside step, and if I don't come back outside, that's when you're going to give the outside move.
Yeah. Basically, I just got to keep him true, you know. So if he said like vertical, I'm gonna take the inside. If he said like short side me, I got to take the edge.
Thanks, Peter.
Oh yeah. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful moms out there. Much love, all of us.
There you go, guys.
Peter, we love you, and Cole Kublik, and Max Duggan, a gain of 28 on the quarterback scramble.
A lot of great teach tape there from Cole and Peter. A lot of great teach tape from Max Duggan. He gets some pressure, but when he's been able to climb in the pocket, step up vertically towards the line of scrimmage, it's ended up in him running the football, but it puts a lot of pressure on that Memphis defense. The interior of that Memphis defensive line has to stay firm and not get too far upfield.
Showboats add an offensive lineman in Bradley Ashmore, 6 up front to block. Jarvion Howard going to be bottled up quickly, and it was Keaton Ellis that met him first at the line. The penalty marker on the field.
Illegal formation. Number 70 reported eligible, and he was covered up.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 70 reported as eligible and was covered by another eligible receiver. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Brian Banks, our referee today, and Anthony Beck wanting to understand a little bit more about the latest infraction. They'll push it back just inside the 10, and it'll be first and goal from there.
Yeah, when those big offensive linemen come in and line up in the tight end position, they report as eligible, which lets everybody know they can catch a pass. If you don't do that, then obviously an offensive lineman can't do it, or a lineman with a number, the lineman number, but receiver can't be covering them up on the line of scrimmage outside of him.
Duggan will keep it and get punished for it by Ellis. Stopped at the 6.
It's a nice job. Max Duggan's going to read the line of scrimmage, and you're going to get the tight end coming across. If he doesn't stop here and continues out, Max Duggan probably is able to get in the end zone. You get the pull read, but the tight end, Jake Sutherland, stops and looks at the guy who was crashing down. Look at Keaton Ellis crashing down right there on the edge of the line of scrimmage. Could have gone out, gotten that arc block, and Max Duggan would have scored.
Already with 43 yards on the ground. To the air this time, and nearly intercepted at the goal line by Steel Chambers. That's one he should have. It was thrown right in the breadbasket.
I mean, it's an absolute gift. Just a presence. Steel Chambers is right here, and Max Duggan's going to try and throw a dig behind him. Steel Chambers is right underneath. I'm not really sure what Max Duggan's looking at. That's a Mother's Day gift, a present handed to Steel Chambers that he rejected.
And Roddy, coaches always teach those quarterbacks down in the tight red zone, you better throw that football up by that crossbar so situations like this won't happen.
And Frank Darby was right there by the crossbar. This time it's Duggan across the goal line, plunging in. And on 3rd and goal from the 10, here comes St. Louis, the early score.
Max Duggan, he has not been effective throwing the football, but he has been incredibly effective running the football. Steven Gonzalez, the left guard, throwing a crucial block right at the goal line, and Max Duggan's legs proving dangerous once again.
Well, Roddy, you also saw, Roy, at the end of that play, why this staff said they didn't want to do that a whole lot. He took a pretty big shot right to the chin as he crossed the goal line there.
Yeah, but if you watch that Big 12 championship game back in, what was that, 2022? He takes a lick and he keeps on ticking.
Kansas State?
Yes, sir.
I remember that very well.
He lost the game, but he won the war because, man, was he tough in that one.
This conversion attempt brought to you by Ortho Home Defense. Go for one.
Hey, Monday. Set up.
Ashmore checks back in, the extra O-lineman. After the 47-yard drive, Howard going to stutter step, dive across, and it's 7-0 Battlehawks. Max Duggan finding unique ways to push his team into the red zone. 38-yard scramble last week, give him 28 on that run, and the touchdown moments ago. Max Duggan.
$44. He was minus 110 for anytime touchdown score, which just indicates that the books honestly thought that he was going to score at some point in this game. Now, as for that total, it's still sitting at 39.5, but I will say the spread has moved 6 points in favor of St. Louis so far, currently at minus 10.5.
Aaron, thank you. Battlehawks favored for a reason with 4 wins already. Memphis at 1-5, and Max Duggan requiring a little bit of extra attention after that quarterback plunge across the goal line. They were working on him during that last timeout. Roddy Jones, Roy Philpott, Cole Kublik, Harry Douglas here at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. And from the 6, Stutter step and a spin down at the 30 by Garrett. Cole Kublik with Max Duggan right now.
Max dialed into the iPad down here. You're starting to get some offense going, a little bit of momentum. After reviewing a couple plays, what are you seeing out there? And then now what are you seeing on the iPad?
Yeah, you know, guys are playing hard. O-line's doing a phenomenal job. Running backs, receivers blocking. You know, I got to get our guys the ball, throwing the ball. But, you know, we got points, which is good. Defense is playing great right now.
How much of the plan has been for you to run? How much of that has been on your own?
You know, you kind of just play what they give you. You know, sometimes it might be design runs, sometimes it might be scramble drills, sometimes it might just be throwing it, give it to the backs, things of that sort. So we'll see how the game goes.
Thanks, Max.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Cole. Dresser Wynn back on the field out of UT Martin. Spent more than a year with the Rams organization, and Sean McVay on the swing to Prince. He's going to lose a couple of yards. St. Louis was ready. Lucas Dennis and the TFL. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Hey, crowd right. Crowd right. Z Casper. Hey, 38 Ohio plus. 38 Ohio plus. Z Casper. Z Casper. Crowd right. 38 Ohio plus. Crowd right. Crowd right. No, right here.
We're talking with Noel Mazzone, the offensive coordinator, this week. He said Dresser Wynn was with the Rams and Coach McVay for a long time. Sean McVay knows some football. He knows that he had something there. We feel like we do as well. As Wes Hills gets his first carry, 11-yard pickup will yield 3rd and 2.
Half right off. Hey, hey. Half right off. 34 Chucky Saw.
Hey, half right off. Half right off. 34 Chucky Saw. 34 Chucky.
I would guess some kind of split zone to the right here, Roddy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Wes Hills, the running back. He'll get the carry on 3rd and short. Needed to get to the 40. They're only going to give him a yard, and now decision time for the Showboats. Isaiah Mack prevented the first down.
See what Jim Turner decides to do here, but I think I'd go for it. You got two big backs.
Hey, cheers.
You're fighting for your playoff life. Show some confidence in that offense. It looks like he's going to do it.
Hill straight ahead into a pile, and I don't think so. Needed to cross the 40. He stopped a yard shy. It was Carson Wells, and the Battlehawks will get the football back.
The ball's going to be run to the right, but Carson Wells comes from the left side of that offensive line and just knifes across. Creates the penetration, hits Wes Hills in the backfield, and he's not able to get that 218 pounds of momentum going downhill. And an incredible play by Carson Wells, who's coming back this week after being out. Great play on a 4th down.
3rd year with the Battlehawks organization. Played his college ball in Colorado. Handoff to Sailors. And tackled after a gain of 2 by Lance Boykin. And we said it moments ago, advantage St. Louis with this start, even after being stymied on that first possession. But the defense has settled in quite nicely.
Yeah, they have. And coming up big on that 4th and short was definitely massive. Memphis has to get in those 3rd and short situations. That's where they want to be. They just weren't able to convert on 2 runs.
Sailors motions out. Duggan on the screen to Pearson. And torpedo down near the 40. He lost a couple of yards. Bronson sniffed it out.
Look at Steel Chambers coming off the field. How different would the game have been had he been able to intercept that ball down near the goal line, preventing points? Comes off the field for this big 3rd down.
Across the line of scrimmage, there's the penalty marker.
NCI 44. Hey, huddle. Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 44. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
A bonus 5 yards after Jalen Allen jumped across the line of scrimmage. Offside's an easy call. His veteran officiating crew.
I don't really know why Jalen Allen was raising his hands like he was innocent in this situation. There was no shot of that. But nonetheless, it takes you from a 3rd and very long to a 3rd and medium. That completely changes play calling, brings Max Duggan's legs much more into the fold in terms of his ability to pick up the 1st down as well.
Most importantly, you're in field goal range now for the Rod Squad.
180.
Rod Squad standing next to you.
Rodrigo Blankenship out pattern, unavailable for Pearson. And decision time for Anthony Beck.
Those are the throws like that are the layups that Max Duggan has to hit consistently. Ja'Cour Pearson is wide open on an out route. Corner's got inside leverage. It's a give me first down. You got to be able to convert those. But a long field goal here.
53-yard field goal attempt. Rodrigo Blankenship has been perfect this season. He has not missed, and clearly in his wheelhouse. Played the college ball at Georgia, and Blankenship, I tell you what, he is NFL ready. You talk to folks inside this league, and Blankenship ready to jump back into the NFL. That's a key reason why he's money that side of the football field. 10-0 Battlehawks, don't forget. Next week, UFL starts Friday. Memphis and San Antonio will lead the charge 8 Eastern on Fox. Then on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern, Michigan and the Roughnecks, who are suddenly absolutely scorching hot. Look forward to that matchup. And then Arlington takes on DC to wrap up the weekend. Stallions, Battlehawks as well. Fox and ABC all headed your way next Saturday and Sunday as we get a little deeper into the UFL season.
It's been a fun season and such tight races in both of the conferences. Right now, Memphis still fighting for its playoff life. Could be eliminated mathematically today with a loss.
It's on life support right now.
Exactly. They've dug themselves in a 10-0 hole. Thing is, they've got to start winning. They've got to start winning the field position advantage. St. Louis has had 2 straight possessions that started in Memphis territory. Memphis has dropped an interception that could have prevented one of those touchdowns, the only touchdown of the game. So just little mistakes has Memphis in a big hole.
From the 11, Garrett tripped up crossing the 30. After a return of 22, one more chance now for Dresser Wen. Interim head coach Jim Turner leading this Memphis organization, replacing Ken Wisenhunt halfway through last month. His team has shown small signs of improvement. We mentioned 1-point loss last week at Houston. It's their second 1-point setback to the Roughnecks this season. And they also have a win in Birmingham the previous week, 24-20. Empty backfield for Wynn. They'll sling it out. Elijah Stowe. And a penalty marker comes in. Another one flies in late. 7-yard gain if it stands.
All right, open up. What do you got, Brett?
Oh, 2 flags down. Okay.
No, there's just one. That's a mouthpiece.
I got hold on number 9.
Holding on number 9, the offense.
Yeah.
All right. We're going from previous spot where your flag is.
Holding. Offense number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's first down.
It's a holding on a wide receiver, Harry. I know you don't like to see that. Jonathan Adams, the guilty party.
Yeah, you got to get your hands inside. Anytime you get your hands outside those shoulder pads, they're going to call that 9 times out of 10.
I have to say it was an all-conference, maybe all-American flag toss by our back judge. That thing came from about 40 yards downfield.
It's also confusing because there was a mouthpiece that's now being picked up and thrown off the playing surface that is also the exact same color as the penalty flag itself.
Yeah.
That should be a flag.
Yes, a double flag.
What you guys talked about for Memphis, right? Being able to have 1st and 2nd down production. You don't want to be 1st and 20, especially against these pass rushers. You want to figure out if you can get about 5 or 6 yards here, probably another 5 or 6 on 2nd down, so you're not 3rd and 14, 3rd and 16.
Yeah, it should be 2nd and 3. Instead, it's 1st and 20, Harry. Pass went almost backwards to Prince. He's been active in this first quarter. Barrels his way towards the 25.
I thought generic Prince, had he just made it a foot race to the sideline, could have had a few more yards. Instead, tries to make Callahan O'Reilly miss. He's not able to do it. And they're not able to get those 5 yards that Harry was talking about on 1st down.
2nd down and long. Dresser Wynn pulled the football away at the last minute, slides in short of the 30.
Dresser Wynn made the right read. Defensive end crashes down, pull, try and run it. But just a really good play by Willie Harvey, shaking the offensive tackle, trying to block him, getting over the top, setting up 3rd and 14. Not expect a quick pass here so you can get away from those pass rushers. Peter Tamalpinu right there.
Pressure. Wynn gets rid of it. Pass is caught. Kai Loxley. Punishing finish. Loxley. Well, you may not see a better catch and run than that this entire weekend. And the Showboats with a little mojo and a gain of 31.
Well, Dresser Wynn does a nice job of fading away from the pressure created by Travis Feeney. And he's able to dish it out to Kai Loxley, who then it's just all hard. It's just all want to. A fantastic job of continuing to fight for every single yard by Kai Loxley. We'll see if that wakes this Memphis offense up.
The son of Mike Loxley, the head football coach at Maryland. East, it's the Celtics Knicks. It's game 4, 7:30, followed by T-Wolves and Warriors. Game 4 out west at 10 o'clock Eastern. That is Monday night on ESPN. Everybody waiting to see if Steph Curry's going to come back next week. And of course, the draft lottery, the Cooper Flag Sweepstakes, Roddy.
There it is. So that's what it needs to be called, the Cooper Flag Lottery. It's one of those drafts where you're drafting for a guy. Where will Cooper Flag end up?
He was dominant last year, scrimmaging against Team USA as they got ready for the Olympics. And we saw what he was able to accomplish at Duke. We will see where he ends up because the #1 pick is certainly going to select Flag. As Jacob Sailors plows ahead, back to the line of scrimmage.
This feels like a big defensive possession for Memphis. The field position has drastically been in St. Louis's favor. Now St. Louis backed up. Memphis can come up with a stop. Their offense has found some life.
Duggan's got a little bit of time. They'll try to set up the screen. Sailors has it, waiting for the convoy. There it is. Big play, Battlehawks. And a 1st down as Sailors rumbles out of bounds and a gain of 25.
Well, the initial motion takes this safety back to the middle of the field and then just ends up not being a lot of people there for the screen back to the left side. There's only 2 defenders with 2 blockers out front. Really well-timed call by Phil McGagan, the offensive coordinator for the Battlehawks, using that motion to rotate the safeties, rotate that secondary away from where the screen's going to go, and then well executed by the offensive lineman and Max Duggan.
Hagan told us this week Max Duggan does not have to carry this team. We've got to put him in the right spot to be successful. I think they're starting to do that a little bit more of what we've seen in this start today in week 7.
Well, Max Duggan's legs, honestly, have carried this team for a couple of drives. Made some big plays on the ground, but now they're starting to find some short throws to get the ball in the hands of some of their other playmakers. Still no targets, though, for Hakeem Butler yet.
On 2nd down, Sailors gains a couple. Harry, do you feel like McGagan actually trusts Mac Duggan the way that he wants to yet?
No. And it's sad because they have so many offensive weapons in the pass game. And to have the inability to not get those guys the football, it can get frustrating at times. But what I will say about the St. Louis Battlehawks skill position players, they're out there blocking their tails off. You don't see anybody throwing tantrums on the sidelines.
Did Harry just drop the mic after that?
He basically did. He was speaking on behalf of his receiver brethren.
3rd and 7. Duggan, pressure. By a little bit of time, flinging out to the perimeter, and the pass is going to be hauled in. Gary Jennings stayed in bounds.
Well, the offensive line does a nice job this time on the 3-man rush and just gives Max Duggan plenty of time. Hakeem Butler's hooked up over the middle of the field, but he goes out wide, and Jennings is able to make the catch, but I think he's just short, Roy. You can see where that ball comes down. It comes down short of the line to gain outside, and a stop for this Memphis defense.
So, Roddy, it's all about KYP, know your personnel, right? If I have Hakeem Butler, who's about 6'6", 235 pounds, lined up at number 3, running a route across the middle, which we call a search route, throw the ball to the big body wide receiver so he can make that contested catch and you can move the chains.
It wasn't PYT, it was KYP. I think I've got that straight. As Isaiah Henney awaits the end-over-end punt, and he gets decked. Absolutely walloped at the 12. Miles Jones. Have no mercy, young man. After a punt of 41, nothing on the return as Henney was crunched deep on his own end of the field.
Oh, I'm on. Hello?
How excited are you to get something going here?
Oh, I need to get it going bad right now. We're all here to support Dresser, though. I have 3 grandsons, and they're all here today, Dresser and 2 others.
So I want to tell both of you ladies Happy Mother's Day, and also let everyone know on the broadcast that this entire section right here is supporting Dresser Win today on this fantastic Mother's Day.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
HD, thank you, my friend. Great as always, the Win family. Dresser had to deal with a little bit of pressure there. That last play, but a penalty results in a first down.
It ends up being okay for Memphis. You can hear the anguish in the voices of Shelly Wynn, Dresser's mom, and Gran as they live on every single moment of their son and grandson out there on the field.
Here's Wynn, clean pocket this time, out route available, and the pass will be reeled in. Kai Lodgley, his second catch, came into this game with only 4 on the season. That'll move the chains, a 15-yard pickup.
Also a great job by Dresser Wynn, right? Understanding where the ball had to go, throwing with anticipation. I looked up at mom and Gran, and yes, they were clapping for their son and grandbaby.
I thought he was doing that hit still in the stands, just hanging out with her.
I thought Gran was feeding him that line.
More Harry Douglas in the stands, I don't think would be a bad thing. Willie Harvey going to make the stop here on Eric Prince.
Here we go. So good. Let's go. Let's go. Hop. The trips left off. 55 Miami on Monday, right? Let's go. Let's go. Hurry up. Hurry up. Monday.
Showboats down 10. Second down and 11. Prince remains in the backfield. Battlehawks shows some pressure. And underneath it goes Isaiah Washington. Will high step his way close to the line to gain.
Really nice job by Dresser Wynn, working from the left side back over the middle where Isaiah Washington was on that shallow drag. Recognized the man-to-man coverage, went back to the route that's going to win against man coverage. Was able to make it a 3rd and short. This is where Memphis has struggled, though. 3rd and 4th and short.
And stopped twice on 4th and a yard in this half. That is the difference in this game. To the edge. And this time they find a way with Prince. Rumbles into plus territory. And a 5-yard pickup.
You know, on those stretch plays, one of the toughest blocks is that point of attack block by the left tackle on the defensive end. That time, Peter Delmupenu was lined up about 1.5 yards, 2 yards outside of James Tunstall, the left tackle, who did a nice job of getting him hooked just enough for Prince to get outside.
Noel Mazzoni trying to change the complexion of this Memphis offense. Dresser Wynn flings it, pass is caught, tight end Chris Pierce. And Pierce is going to pick up 11 yards and a first down.
And this pass had to be inch perfect by Dresser Wynn. Pierce is just going to drag over the top. Dresser Wynn's going to go with them. And there's not a lot of space there. Cameron Kelly's fingertips are about 7 centimeters away from this ball. But it was a perfect pass by Dresser Wynn into the arms of his tight end.
That's what happens when you have your mom and your gran basically say, we need to get a drive going here.
It started with the interview.
Yes, it did. I was going to say the only person that was more excited to see Harry Douglas than Shelly Wynn was our valet, who was all over the "that boy bang."
And Eric Prince up to the challenge that time. Got north and south, gain of 14.
And check out the blocks by the interior of that offensive line. And on this outside zone scheme, on this stretch scheme, these 2 big running backs are so good at finding the hole, putting their foot in the ground, and getting north towards the end zone.
Prince again off the left edge. And on first down, Memphis starting to find its groove on the ground.
He's down 20 to 8 and 3. He's laying to the coach right now. He might come on. I don't know.
Let's go flex 53 Jade. Flex 53 Jade. Flex 53 Jade.
This pass out of the
You're faking me. Yeah, on the Delta, on the Delta. No, you're going to Buck Alley. Delta,
They'll run the reverse. Adams has it. Blockers in front and upended inside the 10. Oh, a first down for Memphis, and again inside the red zone.
This thing is almost blown up, but Adams is here. You're going to get 2 unblocked defenders on the right side of that offensive line, though, from St. Louis, who have a chance at Jonathan Adams, but the speed gets around and some decent blocking out front. They ran this play last week as well. It's certainly something that St. Louis will have practiced, but well-timed call by Leo Mazzoni, this time, by Noel Mazzoni, excuse me, this time running it in the red zone.
I think he stopped calling pitches for the Braves a little while ago.
You know, I grew up with Leo Mazzoni, so it was bound to happen.
Looking for Adams in the end zone. Coverage was there on the slant pattern. Cameron Kelly was trailing him for a moment. Adams wants the penalty marker.
you go, let's go.
Jim Turner thinking about the super challenge. And the 2-minute warning gets us to another timeout.
That's the receiver. What's that? He just saying don't challenge. They might not. All right. All right. What do you want to do? Good. I'm not. Next play. Okay, next play. I'm not going to challenge it.
Jim Turner, interim head coach for Memphis, was ready to go with the super challenge. The flag was ready. Jonathan Adams thought he was interfered with on that pattern.
Yeah, he's trying to cross the face of Cameron Kelly, the safety, and I don't think there's enough there for that to be overturned and a hold be given. And the ball wasn't in the air, so I don't think you're going to get a pass interference. I think it's a good no challenge by Jim Turner.
Strong drive for Dresser Wynn, boosted by the in-game interview with his family. 10th play of the drive coming up on 2nd and goal.
Here we go, let's go.
Sun has popped out for the first time today. Prince on the toss. Deneric Prince to the edge. Inside the 5. Mike Rose, he'll barrel him out of bounds.
I really like that play call from Noel Mazzoni. Just using the defense, as leverage against them. They didn't have very many guys the same side as the back. Just release the tackle to go out and block the run support defender from the secondary and have the running back outrun the linebackers.
Dresser Wynn, the former All-OVC quarterback at UT. Martin, and a touchdown strike. Jonathan Adams rips it away. Second touchdown grab of the season for the physical Jonathan Adams from Arkansas State.
You're going to get a blitz from the linebacker, and then 3 defenders jump outside of Jonathan Adams, who just hooks up in the vacated zone. And finally, Shelly Wynn and the Wynn family and Grant have something to cheer for as their baby throws a touchdown pass to bring Memphis to within 4.
On Mother's Day, Memphis now will go for the 2-point conversion from the 5-yard line. Prince will motion out an empty backfield for Dresser Wynn. He's got time. Feeling the pressure, the ball pops out. Conversion attempt is no good. Travis Feeney forced the fumble. And Memphis fortunate that play didn't end in more disaster than how it did.
Yes, they were, but what a positive drive for Memphis. Obviously ending up in a touchdown was the key goal, but finally you converted on a 3rd and short. Got some rhythm in the passing game, and Dresser Wynn just looked in command. Finds his big receiver, Jonathan Adams, to get in the end zone.
Jim Turner loved it.
two. Yeah, go for two.
Jim Turner, a guy who made multiple boxing references on our call with him this week. He's a big fan of Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Rocky Marciano. He knows this is a 12-round fight. This wasn't going to be a first-round knockout for either team. And Dresser Wynn has shown that he is up for the fight. The resilience of this offense after being stopped twice on 4th and short. Didn't hang their head, just went back and went to work and got in the end zone.
Noel Mazzoni told us, I didn't know who Dresser Wynn was, but when I turned the film on, I said, I got to find out who he is and talk to him. Turns out he's the new starting quarterback. And he's got Memphis in position. Blake Jackson from the goal line. Upended crossing the 20. Buck 45 to go after a return of 22. And we're down with Harry Douglas again, HD.
I'm here with quarterback Dresser Wynn for the Memphis Showboats. 4 for 5 on that drive and a touchdown pass. How did it feel out there?
Felt good. Just get some rhythm going. So, hey, when you get some rhythm going, you get a little confidence, and everybody starts playing a little faster, a little smarter. It gets a little confidence, like I said, and offense moves better.
So right when that drive was starting, I interviewed your mother and also your grand, and they said that you needed to get the drive started. What do you say to them right now?
I say they're right. They're hard on me, and I love it. So, yeah, they're right, and I guess I answered for them. So there we go.
Great job, buddy.
Appreciate you.
Harry, great job by you as well. 1st and 10 Battlehawks, and the draw. Sailors across the 25 to the 27.
I like the decision to go with the draw to try and get the drive going. It puts you in a 2nd and medium. St. Louis is going to start to go fast if they can get this drive going.
Dump off route. And Akeem Butler drifting backwards. That'll be his first reception of the season that didn't end in a touchdown.
True jet. True jet.
That seems like a moment there for St. Louis. Trying to get Akeem Butler more involved, drawing all the attention to come back with Darby. And not this time. Great coverage by Boykin.
This pass game has really not been able to get going today. They've had the most success with the short passing game, and Max Duggan trying to fit it in a tight window. Not quite able to get it low enough for Frank Darby to be able to use his body away from the defender. But this is an interesting situation because on the other side, Memphis has 2 timeouts. So if you throw the ball twice here, you're going to give the ball back to Memphis with a decent chunk of time left in those 2 timeouts. But I think St. Louis wants to be aggressive. We'll see.
Duggan will try to push it down the field. Heaves one deep. Darby is there, and he brings it in Memphis territory, and a massive conversion. And a gain of 29.
They do a really good job of stretching the safety. You can see him to the top left of the screen. He starts to drift inside. Cover 2 safeties responsible for that half of the field. He starts to drift inside with Ja'Cour Pearson, which leaves Frank Darby wide open on the corner route. A good delivery by Max Duggan, hitting a layup there.
It's important for this Memphis defense. They gave up a touchdown right before halftime last week versus Houston. You want to kind of get a stop here or hold them to a field goal. You don't want them to get into the end zone.
Back-to-back receptions by Frank Darby. Cole, I have to imagine that we see Max Duggan's confidence perhaps improve a little bit after a little bit of a slow start. He was 4 for his first 8, then back-to-back tosses that were grabbed by Frank Darby.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. And the messaging around a couple of members of this offense on the sideline after 2-3 drives was we just need a completion. He just needs to get the ball in the hands of a receiver, get some positive yardage now. Really feels like he's found a little bit of momentum, a little bit of rhythm.
It's been lacking. Pearson goes in motion. And a quick strike on the slant. Pass is caught. That's enough to move the chains again. It's Gary Jennings, so it's Duggan. He has been accurate. Gain of 15. He's spreading the wealth around on this drive, too.
And that was a very good on-time pass by Max Duggan, hitting the top of his drop, delivering the football.
A different Max Duggan through the air on this possession. It's back to the ground. And a short gain of 1.
So, Roy, what helps that confidence for Max Duggan in a 2-minute situation is 2-minute, right? You know you have to throw the football. You don't have to think about anything. Plays are just being called. You go football to your guys. It's a bit different, right, when you're starting the game out in that whole night.
Utilize the space.
good. Good call.
Coach Beck has the announcer voice, by the way, because he used to be a television announcer.
It's a very good one, too.
A great one, the former first-round pick of the Jets back in 2000.
Well, keep in mind what we've seen here on this drive, guys, a lot of the quick game stuff. Now, Bill McLaughlin is a little bit more of that West Coast offense with the longer developing plays. But Max Duggan background, that's air raid. His college coach was an air raid disciple, so quick game is something he's more familiar with and maybe one of the reasons for the success on this drive.
Fair to say Sonny Dykes, Mr. Air Raid, he's part of that tree that goes really deep back to the 1980s. On second down, Duggan wants to throw it, and he does, delivers the goods, and they are grabbed. Pearson came back a little bit for the touchdown. And from 13 yards out, here comes Max Duggan. He's entered the chat. He looked like a different quarterback on that drive.
Certainly did, and the time that he was given was tremendous as well. Jacour Pearson, you're going to get a couple of short routes from these two outside receivers, and then Jacour Pearson just right over the top of them. Gets one-on-one coverage. End up switching off so that you've got the underneath defender chasing, and a really nice throw by Max Duggan away from Eric Garrer and in the hands of Pearson.
Go for one. Duggan 4 of 5 on that drive for 65 yards. Saylor's the running back, and from the 2-yard line, he's going to get close to the goal line. And they will say he was stopped short. So our new score at 16-6 after Jacour Pearson's first touchdown of the season. Former Ole Miss standout.
Look at this. Look like Jacob Saylor's got close. He gets turned, and from that angle, certainly agree. Although does reach that ball out. I think he's in. From that look, it looks like before anything goes down, he reaches that ball across, and when he comes down, the ball is certainly
him. That's the only thing that matters. He's him.
Sorry, guys, that was Jared Jones-Smith just grabbing the mic. When an offensive lineman comes over, I'm just going to let him have the mic. I'm sorry.
Rightfully so. We'll check in with the Verizon Command Center. Dean Blandino.
Nothing down the line. That's the key. The near card is not on the line. This is my best look, and I can see the knee down, but I can't tell where the ball is in relation to the goal line. So we're going to let it stand. We're going to let it stand. Nothing definitive. Ruling stands.
All right. After review, the ruling on the field stands. The try is no good.
Check in again with Cole Kublik.
Fellas, I got Jacour Pearson caught that touchdown pass. Just man-to-man on that one. Was that just winning a one-on-one?
Yeah, it was man-to-man on that one. Wait, first thing I got to say, happy Mother's Day to my mom. I love you. But yeah, it was man-to-man out there. And it was just easy conversion. We killed it. We had the look we wanted. Touchdown.
What's Akeem Butler bringing you these gloves for? What's that all about?
Yeah, they didn't want to let me wear my grip boots, but we still in the end zone, though.
What, they banned the gloves?
Yeah,
they're too sticky?
They banned the Just Chill gloves. They told me just chill.
What's wrong? Let's see them. What's wrong with them?
I don't got them.
There we go. It's like little leaguers with illegal bats, guys.
Unbelievable. Breaking news, Cole Kublik on the sideline.
I didn't know that gloves got I thought they were all just super sticky.
This would be my expectation. Garrett, in coverage moments ago, slides down as he fell down across the 25. Week 8, UFL starts Friday with Memphis and San Antonio. That's at 8 Eastern over on Fox. Saturday at 1 o'clock on Fox, see either Michigan against St. Louis or Birmingham at St. Louis. That's Michigan and Houston, Birmingham at St. Louis. And Sunday at noon on ABC, Arlington takes on DC to wrap up the weekend. Week 8 of the UFL, the playoff push is on. And for both of these teams today, it means a little bit more. Memphis has to win this game to stay in postseason consideration. Meanwhile, the Battlehawks, they are right there knocking on the door, just a half game behind DC in their conference.
And the Memphis running back, Wes Hills, came off of the field after that kickoff return limping. Took him into the medical tent. Certainly don't expect Memphis to run the ball here, but the running backs have been big pass targets as well.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Dresser wants to throw it. Escapes pressure. Awkward chest pass pump fake, and he'll race out of bounds.
There's a lot of work for a very minimal gain, but it was good to escape the pressure and at least get out of bounds.
Isaiah Mack was the one that was coming after him.
Hey, Mark.
You ever done the fake the chest pass in basketball where it's right there? That's what that looked like to me.
Here, Jim Turner, goal of this drive is to get at least a field goal.
Not a lot of time to work with. They'll set up the screen. Here's Prince. Really didn't get the blocking he wanted out in front. Stopped near the 35.
He also didn't get out of bounds. I mean, every player has to know that you get as much as possible, but as soon as you feel like you're going to get pressure from a defender, you got to get out of bounds. You can't get tackled short of the line to gain and in the field of play.
Dagger. 1 point, yep.
Jim Turner contemplating this third down call. So see Noel Mazzoni.
Hold on. It's going to be stack right empty, 53 HBO, don't leave it. $53 HBO Monday, ready?
19 seconds to go in the half. Third down and 3.
Monday, Monday.
Dresser Wynn escapes. Had to poke the football out in front of him to try to get the first down. It was close.
He thought about launching this thing. He gets a receiver going downfield, and he thought about launching it down the field. Probably wise that he doesn't into double coverage, but Dresser Wynn took a peek. Ultimately gets the first down. Now you're 13 seconds left, one timeout. Everybody has to know that it's got to be out of bounds or past the sticks. If you get tackled in the field of play, past the first down line, you're likely either spiking it if you can get up quick enough or calling that last time out, but you want to get out of bounds if you can.
I know, but we had no...
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard
Something
penalty.
you can't afford.
First down.
Delay of game penalty.
Certainly don't love it.
Back them up 5. Reset the game clock to 13 seconds. Spotted at the 32.
This offense probably needs 25, 30 yards before you're in comfortable field goal range.
Coughlin is connected from 52 yards this season. Dresser Wynn going the wrong direction. Damu came in number 7, as does a penalty flag.
Zap 10, right? Zap 10. Just Zap 10, yeah. Do they want to take a timeout? Find out if they want to take their last timeout.
He does not want to take it.
All right.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 12. Penalties are lost of down by the foul. It includes a 10-second runoff. That's the end of the half.
8 seconds to go, and Dresser Wynn going in the wrong direction. The intentional grounding call.
Yeah, so Dresser Wynn is trying to escape the pocket, but the pocket